What's up, everybody? Welcome to a new episode of Morphin' and Chillin'. We're diving right back into Power Rangers Prime with Volume 3. We've got my co-host Blue Jack with me. How you doing today, bro?
Brother, we doing good. We living good. We sipping a little bit. I'm here with my boy Fire Lord Caleb on
As
morphing
always.
and chilling. And let's get into the Power Ranger talk, man. That's it.
Yes, sir. If this is your first time tuning in, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of our hot takes or us redoing recaps and reviews of the Power Ranger shows or comic books. But let's dive right into it. Volume 3 starts off with issue 9. We had a crazy cliffhanger at the end of issue 8. Rita Repulsa is a baddie Green Ranger, my wifey. And
You see it right there. Green Ranger.
what was your interpretation of like Rita versus the VR troopers? Because of course we talked about someone trying to say that baddie Green Ranger Rita Repulsa solos the Avengers, and I went and reread this issue because I kind of only remembered her getting whooped by these VR troopers. She did get her arms behind her back, but then she had that like card up her sleeve with the magic and growing TZ.
Um, I think exactly what you just said, right? She had an unknown factor in the fight that helped her. Now, of course, as we all know with Power Rangers, when you get a new Sixth Ranger, when you get a new Ranger, when they morph, it's almost like they get a boost, right? So she got her little boost, but at the same time, once she got her boost, after she got her few hits off, it showed it's 3v1.
Yep.
You know what I mean? It's not just 1v1 where it's a monster. These are actually smart combatants, smart humans that have teamwork, have training. They're well
And
aware of their power. They know what they're doing. So she got her little upper hand, and then it was kind of like, okay, now let's calm down with it. The VR troop was like, okay, calm it down, right? We gave you your few hits.
yep.
We know what you can do. Now let's show you we back in control. So that's when you see Lauren have to help her a little bit. She has to take on one of the guys. And then, like you said, they get her hands behind her back and she uses magic, which is important with Rita because
Very true. That's true.
some people will sleep on her with magic, right? And that's one of her biggest freaking strengths is
But
magic.
one thing that with this run though is like we saw it when she portaled into this world, she isn't like at full strength. So
Yeah, she's limited.
I feel like that's also something to go in her defense for like this fight.
Oh, sure. Sure. But I mean, I don't think it takes away from her as well because she is first morphing, but at the same time, it's 3v1. Her Rangers got stomped. Her Rangers had no teamwork, as we saw in issue 8. Her Rangers are very new, very raw. So she did her thing, and then, as Rita always does, she finesses her way
She
to
always
a
does.
dub, and that's what she did. So yeah, I don't think it's if you people on the internet want to call it an L, they can. I just call it she did her thing to get by in that moment, which
Right.
coming to the story, you need that sometimes. You know what I mean? You just
Makes
need
sense.
somebody to find a way to get these people to run away or to go away. That's how I look at it.
I'd agree with that. Like what the hell is she going to do with the Avengers?
She doesn't beat the Avengers.
Exactly.
So
But
I
we
don't think
kind of
there's many readers that beat the Avengers. Even the one in what's after Shattered Grid where she's like she's
Mistress
one of the strong.
Vile. Is that
Yeah,
who she is?
I don't even know if she like her 1v1 against Scarlet Witch like cool, but like you got Thor, you got like you know what I mean. You start adding people, and you're like,
Yep.
okay, it goes from here to it goes to like she might have a chance to
I agree. Yep. It's
like. I don't understand the argument. Like Power Rangers are strong when you put them up against certain people, but when it comes to like comic heroes that've had 70 to 80 to 60 years and they've had movies that's amped them because the movies always amp characters.
yep.
It becomes hard to have these conversations with You know what I mean? Like
Oh, but you forget that there was a monster that could control the magnetic pull of the Earth, and they defeated that monster that could control the magnetic pull of the Earth. So because they defeated that monster, the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers are planetary, so they could easily beat Thor. Am I right? But that's a tangent. We're not gonna open that can of worms.
this what we doing, Fire Lord Caleb? Okay, morphing and chilling. Hey, morphing and chilling on hots. G, if y'all want to
Yup.
smoke, come over here. I'm telling you, anybody's welcome to come up here and talk. But I'm telling you, you better be able to back it up, and don't back it up with some TikTok BS. That's all I'm saying.
TZ. We get to see little adorable chibi TZ grow into a big boy Zord.
We
And
do.
he breathes fire. He's not just some like Zord that they just use for movement.
That's
And
the
I thought
one
that
and
was
only.
I thought that was lit.
So one and only time we see him go big until to the final issue. But I also think, well, this is what I think. Without the theory, I don't know any links, so everybody in the chat, don't cook me. Sorry for hitting my mic. I feel
He's hitting
like,
the gong.
what's her name? Flores is. I always ask. I know I forget. I'm bad with writers, and I think Flores was actually trying to build something and take her time,
Right.
and I think that's why we didn't get more Zords, more Megazords. Yeah, Zords, because Megazords is them combined. I think that's why we didn't get more Zords, which I would have been okay with because you see in the cartoons or in the shows sometimes most of the times the starters get theirs, but sometimes they got to
Yeah.
go out and find the extra Zords, and
Mhm.
and in this case
Like
there's not
Wild
supposed to be
Force,
any
especially.
Rangers, right? So they found the T Rex by luck in the museum. Going to find the other ones would have been actual good story
That makes
development.
sense.
Everybody would have had their moment. Maybe they would have found two at one time. Maybe they would have found one each. So we just don't know. So if the theories are right, if y'all know more, I apologize. But just from not knowing and my looking at it, I feel like it was just a part of the story. She was making sure she had a story drawn out for us, which I like.
Blue Jack, you brought it up last episode with Lauren Shiba's suit. You said, "Get them T-Rexes out of here." And I'm curious to gauge your opinion because we didn't talk about it for volume 2. Rita Repulsa's suit and her like animal spirit is just a dragon, which I feel like when we got a basilisk ranger I'm looking at, like couldn't we have done something cooler is kind of how I feel. But then I also kind of was thinking, how do I play devil's advocate with that?
Yeah.
And one thing I immediately thought of is literally like Tommy Oliver Green Ranger Dragon Zord. So I do feel like with her specifically, it's very fitting.
Yeah. I think I think she was trying to leave enough similarities for people that didn't listen. I don't want to go into a tangent. I just feel like there's so many generations we've had guests on that have so many generations. They've started at different
Right.
places. Didn't even start at MMPR, where MMPR is not so many people's first. But if we want to just go off this, let's just go off this so we don't go on a tangent. This was definitely MMPR inspired and taken aspects from other seasons,
Right.
right? So when you have her as a Green Ranger, which is MMPR, the first six Ranger, the Green Dragon Zord Ranger, it makes sense to be a dragon. But at the same time, if you want to go into her brain, I think having an actual dragon Zord, because you see on her chest, the dragon is different. So I think we were supposed to have an actual
True.
dragon, like the Red Thunder Dragon. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. The Red Thunder Dragon. We were supposed to have a dragon as her Zord, which would have been dope in a comic form. You know what I mean? Um, I'm not sure. I'm just speculating. So I'm not mad about it because like I said, I think she could have elaborated on a lot. And I think she was we
Could have
said this
spent a
last
lot
episode.
longer.
They took a lot from her. So yeah, I'm not mad at it, but what you're saying is we could have got something crazy. We could have.
That would have been dope.
It's a bunch of animals in the world. It's a bunch of dinosaurs, and we could have got something crazy. You know what
Yup.
I'm saying? So yeah, you're right. You're right.
Also part of where I got ahead of myself last episode. was the ending of this issue. I felt like the ending was a whole lot of like, what was the point of this issue? Because the whole entire point of the Rangers meeting up with the VR Troopers was to get Mark back so that the full team can be together again. And I keep saying it every time the team is together because they got Mark back. Lauren Sheba turns herself in to clear the other Rangers' names. You know, VR Troopers agree like, sure, we'll let them, we'll leave them alone as long as they don't be Rangers anymore.
Hmm.
But then the issue ends with the Eltarian saying, "Nah, f that. Bring in June's father, Emperor Valor. Yep, Valor, Emperor Valor, and bring us the Rangers anyways." So like, what was the point? And of course, she had no way of expecting that the Eltarians were gonna scheme something in the background. But like, we're 9 issues in, dog.
Um, it was too much, like you said. It's too much of the Rangers not being able to mesh and learn and come together. And it was too much of let me get them together so they can morph and then let me separate them again.
Yep.
Let me get them together so they can have this fight and then let me separate them again. One has to do the Billy tactic where he has to go do science, but the other ones need to fight. One's not really feeling the team and not feeling the people because she's conflicted in her mind. So she's away for 2 issues and it's just 3 Rangers now. It's just like it got to a point where it was like, all right, the Rangers suck. They need to be together to learn, to train, to
Yep.
have a chance because they're just going off aura at this point. It's just morph or
Oh my god, I'm dead.
9 times out of 10 get beat up.
So, something that I'm curious about, since you were just talking about how it was a lot at once, is I wasn't picking this up month by month. I had to wait to catch up because I was trade
Right.
waiting. So, I had to wait until volume 2 dropped, but I think I had issues 9 and 10 and I think maybe 11 waiting until volume 2 dropped. So, I just had a nice little binge just all at once. So, I'm curious, how are you
Oh, trust
feeling?
me, I remember you reading him because she was texting me like crazy.
Yep.
Yeah,
But how were you feeling month to month, like after issue 9 at this point?
you ask me this every episode, and I got to be honest. At this point, I wasn't. I feel like we were still riding a hype because issue 9 we got Rita as Green Ranger, which we didn't know was happening, but when we saw the cover, everybody was like,
True. They had
"Baddie
some
Rita."
good covers.
Exactly,
Like her
Baddie
on the
Rita
throne.
become yes. Um, and then we got to the issue where it was June and his dad, and we're just like, before we got it, we're like, was it a good issue? Yes, and we talked about this. It was a good issue seeing his dad learning that history, seeing June come through, but at the same time, it was just like I don't know where we're going right now. Um, the hype is kind of coming down, and I remember I don't know exactly. I know you know, but it was kind of like when they had announced that the book was ending, and a few people were like, "Oh, y'all, I'm mad. The book is ending," and I was literally like, "It kind of makes sense."
Because you had been picking it up month to month.
Yes, and I'm like, the book isn't bad. The book's not bad at all. Never been bad, but at the same time, where it started with the hype, it's not there. So if people stop picking it
Right.
up, I kind of understand why it got canceled. Not saying I wanted to get canceled or I think it deserved it. I just understand because it was a dip. It started, when you go up here so much, you have to have a here. But
Makes
when
sense.
you have it here, you have to have a go back up. And it was very hard because we weren't seeing the upward spike,
I'd agree.
and we didn't know where it was coming from because each issue it was like, okay, cool. I guess we'll wait till next month. You know what I mean? That's where we were at with it. Um, And that sucks because this was something special. This was something that started off amazing, man. And
Right.
at this point, it was still good. It was just like, okay,
Okay.
the cover's nice. So yeah, that's where I was at.
No, I'd agree. You brought up June's dad.
Hmm.
I did have notes typed up for June's dad because that man is a motherfucking menace.
He like a Viltrumite. He like a Viltrumite.
He is. He is because we get flashbacks of child June and it like kind of reminded me of you and I have never like talked about Dune, but it kind of reminded me of like Dune 1 where there was that like device that gives you pain and his character had to not react
Hmm.
because it's like that weird triangle shaped device that really reminds me of like a freaking instrument and he used it on a little
It's called
little
it's
kid.
called a triangle, by the way. The instrument's called a triangle. It's called a triangle. Sorry, I had to tell you.
Ah, probably.
No, it is.
I know, I know.
He just said probably. No, it is. It's called a triangle.
But he uses this on this little kid, June, and I didn't feel like, I guess, as bad about it. But he did use it on Lauren. And the reason why
Yeah,
I say I didn't like feel as bad about it is of course like we talk about it a couple times each episode, but just like how storytelling can change once you have a kid. It's like, dog,
yeah.
why you being an asshole to this little kid, bro? Why are you making him feel this pain?
So this issue, at first, when I started reading it, I was hating on it. I was like,
Oh.
bro, I don't care. But the more and more I got into it, it really started to hit me, and I started to vibe with it. I started to see the struggle with June from issue one to now.
Mhm.
I started to see the weight on his shoulders even more, and
Right.
I started to see how fearful but also demanding his mom was, and how he carried that. Because yes, he carried his father's weight. Yes, he was trying to live up to his father, but his father also goes away for a long time and comes back
Mhm.
for a short time. His mom is the one that's putting that on him because she's also fearful for him and for his development as an Eltarian. So seeing his dad come back and seeing how his mom reacted, it definitely hit me, man. Like you said, as a father, seeing that, seeing what he went through, and seeing him push at the end,
Yep.
morph. Gee, it was crazy. But at the same time, his dad just being like, "About time you stood up.
Yep.
About time you showed some balls." I was just like,
Yeah, he's brutal to June.
his dad is he's a Viltrumite. He's a Viltr. They need to make him a Kirkman. Need to make him a Viltrumite quickly. You know
Quick.
what I'm saying? And we're not even gonna get into the next issue. I mean, we can if you want.
Not yet, because
Okay, not yet. Okay.
I have something typed up, and I don't know if it's something you noticed. It's something that kind of bugged me on this reread. We find out in this issue before June hits the morph because he gets a conversation with his mom
Hmm.
in the room where he gets to see his dad through the
Yeah.
window. And we did see through flashbacks that Valentina's mom was June's babysitter and told him stories about the Power Rangers while he was a little kid. And because I can't remember if I think it was his mom that overheard the stories, right? Wasn't it? Or was it the dad?
Hmm.
Whoever overheard it, she disappeared, gone with the wind, never seen again after telling these stories. And I don't know how I missed it when I was binging these issues, but he knows this information because we find out in this issue, he confronts his mom about it. He's like, I don't know what's worse, her not knowing what happened to her mom, or like me thinking you had something to do with it this whole time. And I have kind of 2 points before I toss the mic to you about that. If he knew this whole time, why was she not given this information? And two, we don't see this go anywhere. Valentina never finds out this piece of information about her mom. I double checked. And I think that was a missed opportunity. But what do you think?
This is what happens when the writers find out the book gets canceled before we
That's
before
fair.
we find out. This is what happens, bro. What else, bro? You see the seeds that were planted for the drawn out book in the new universe. This is where you see it. It
That's fair. That's
sucks
fair. It
because
does.
it could have shown so much growth, so much character development, and we lost it. We
Exactly.
lost it. Now, if you want to talk in the context of the book, yeah, it's trash because it's something that gets you drawn in.
Hmm.
You read those pages and you're like, oh, snap. This brother's
Exactly.
not clueless.
Like, and before this issue, I never realized that like Valentina had like that sort of a connection to everything. I thought she was just the girlfriend of Ryan that also knew the group that became Rangers. I never like so when I reread this and found out her mom been missing and I'm pretty sure it was his dad that caused it. It's like you said, it sucks that that
It's
didn't go
almost
with it.
like a Princess and the Frog where Princess Tiana's mom was babysitting the rich girls and making her dresses, right?
Yep.
But something happened to her, and Princess Tiana lost her mom and didn't know why. Yeah, this is what that is. But we never find out. Like you said, Valentina
Nope.
never figures it out. He never tells her. He comes back from here and he's just like, oh my God, getting ahead of myself. But yeah, like
And after that conversation, like you said, he steps up against his dad. It doesn't go his way.
at all.
Cuz cuz Mama Bear had to step in and knock Emperor out. She had to make her choice, and I did respect that because up to this point, um,
She
like
was
you could
dick riding. She was dick riding.
she was trying to do what she could to like
Dog.
keep June away from everything, but like she had to finally step in, like you said.
She was dick riding her husband. I can't. How else can you say it? Your seed is standing right there, and you scared of this man, but you supposed to be a warrior, bro. Back up. My mom would never. My
that
mom
that
would have drop kick that motherfucker.
that is where I like where her story starts to
That.
develop because
Mm-hmm.
that mama instinct kicks in because well I mean bummer even after all of that and dude's knocked out Lauren's still a prisoner so Rangers are still split up so but Mama Bear
Them
gets
trash
June.
sheepers, man. Them trash sheepers. I'm telling you, they stay trash. They ain't never not gonna be trash in my eyes. Them sheep, the Sheba family is horrible. They garbage. I hate them. I hate them. G. You know I hate them. I hate them with a passion.
You do.
Yo, if Caleb makes a clip out of this, Jaden Sheba, Lauren Sheba, the dad Sheba,
What about
all of them.
Takaru Shiba?
Hortakaru, whatever that motherfucking name is, trash. Come for me in the comments if y'all want to. Trash. I don't care.
Oh, I'm
I
dead.
put racist Carter over them motherfuckers.
But after everything, I do like that we see she's willing to bargain with Rita um because she's finally come to the understanding now that her son has made that decision of revealing like yo I'm a ranger and I stand with my people f you
Mm-hmm.
dad. She has come to that realization this dude's got to go.
Yep.
So I mean I did kind of like I felt like it was kind of filler where like the both of them started fighting in the middle of their like base of operations and literally everyone is around them and being like stop, why are you fighting? Lauren and the Shebas that you hate, and she gets to see her dad all chained up.
Chained up like a hoe.
Exactly. Now, if I was Lauren, I wouldn't let this slide. I would need to put my paws on Valor. You got my dad. I haven't seen him in how long I can't remember. But you got my dad chained up. Where the fuck is clothes at?
Caleb,
Why you got why you
Caleb,
got my dad strapped
what's she
up
supposed to do, Caleb?
bro, I don't know, but that's your dad. That's your dad.
She already locked up. What's she supposed to do? What you want her to do, Caleb?
You just gonna let that slide? That's your dad.
She don't got no choice. What
She can, even if it doesn't go her way, she can try something. She can
Caleb,
fight.
she's
She's
trash.
trash.
Let me tell you again, she's trash. Like,
He said she's
she's
trash.
horrible. She she can't.
Oh my
And
gosh.
matter of fact, um, to be honest, let's get realistic. She was going through a lot. She was actually looking for her dad and her brother for a long time. So her seeing her dad, because she probably thought he was gone, right? With the realization, my dad's back, he's here, he's taken, and I can have a conversation with him. So I think having a conversation and coming to the realization my dad is still alive was more important than,
That makes sense.
yeah, than her trying to, oh, let me break him out. Because at the same time, he speaks to her and he's like, hey, Lauren, listen, I need you to listen to me here close. You know what I mean? Because he's in on that. We don't know it yet, but he's in on it. So
True.
I
True.
sympathize with her. With the story. With the story. Real life, like you said, forget having a conversation. My pops is right there. Is straight hands. If I lose, I
Exactly.
lose. But it's the war. But story wise, yeah. Yeah.
Exactly. Now, after she sees him just standing there all chained up, we get to see a panel. But
No, there it is.
we
There it
got
is.
this beautiful looking panel, this spread shot of everybody's animals. And like you said, her dragon right there underneath the T-Rex, it do be looking different for sure.
That's her dragon?
I think, I mean, yeah, zooming into it,
It
there's
gotta be
wings.
her dragon.
Yeah, there's wings coming out of
Hold up.
it.
One,
Hmm.
two, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2. Hold on. Hold on, Caleb. That's a lot of that's a lot of okay, you got the T Rex,
You got the
you got the
T-Rex.
snake,
Hmm.
got the unicorn, that's 3.
There's a Velociraptor there for some
You got
reason,
the
it looks like.
Velociraptor. That's 4.
And then we
You got
got her
the
dragon.
hawk. The hawk is 5, and then her dragon. So her dragon looks like a T Rex. It looks like a T Rex, but a T Rex from the dinosaur movie. It just looks like a. It don't look like a Yeah, it don't look like a dragon. Like it looks like a T Rex with extra horns. So technically, it is legit just the dragon. So dragon. So Caleb, you just exposed the book.
That's not where I thought pulling this up was gonna go.
Yo, you just exposed the book, Caleb. That's legit. Tell me that don't look like just a T Rex with
Kinda
that's
now that you,
that's been modified from humans. That
it
doesn't look like a
doesn't
dragon.
it doesn't help that it's right next to a T-Rex
That's a T
because
Rex,
the
Caleb.
the no the nose slits, the eyes, the mouth.
Caleb, that's a T.
But I mean, we've also seen in many things like How to Train Your Dragon, dragons can look way different.
Caleb,
Oh my god, the face.
that's the dragon. That's the dragon sword. That's just the dragon sword. I'm sorry to tell you. I am sorry. I pulled the panel up. That's the dragon sword. Everybody in the comments, let us know. Is that the dragon sword or is that something new? Because I don't see nothing different outside of horns. Maybe it had wings. I think it
Yeah,
has wings.
there's wings coming out of the left side of it.
Yeah, there's wings, but there's a
And then there's
tail.
also like some weird stuff coming out of like the neck.
Jurassic Park.
Jurassic Park. It kind of does. Yep.
Jurassic Park. We got to
And
move on because
I
if we don't move on, we'll keep trashing it. I'm telling you.
now something that I do like that we also see in this issue after it's literally actually the next page after we get to see these animals. I like that we get to see Rita like when she puts her hand out and the suit starts to morph. We get
Hmm.
to see like the scales because like her animal's a dragon.
Yeah,
Dragon's got scales.
that's dope.
But I double checked and those scales don't stay permanently. Outside of this scene, like literally the next page, her suit is back to like just a smooth look like the rest of the Power Ranger Prime suits.
Yeah,
So I'm a little
it's just
bummed
like a
about that.
morphing effect, which is normal. That's like a cool effect.
But the Sixth Ranger always supposed to have that extra drip. You
Yeah,
know,
but it's not necessarily like it has to be permanent. It could just be more of like we've seen that sometimes where Rangers morph fast or quickly,
right.
and we get a quick morph. You know what I mean? I'm more concerned with the fact that she morphed and she still was going relative with June's mom. And everybody read the issue before and was like, oh, she can 1v1 the Avengers, but then she's fighting June's mom and they're
Oh,
they're
but Power
still
Rangers
mating.
are planetary.
Yeah, they're still mating. They're literally they
Yes,
still
they
mate and then they
are.
start having a conversation
I'm
because
scrolling through the fight right now.
what. Like, bro, nah, I'm not trying to hear it. And you can't tell me Rita ain't trying to. Nah, I'm not trying to hear it.
Issue 11 ends with the VR troopers not really agreeing with Valor's effed up savage tactics. And they're told at the end of the issue that they're supposed to help with the capture of the Rangers, but then never seen again.
Because that happens in VR Troopers, the book.
What do you mean?
I think that was supposed to be foreshadow for their own book, not the
But
Power Rangers book.
but they were told like, "Yo, you got orders. Go meet the Emperor at this location." And
So,
then, okay, go ahead.
so since I don't think you, I think you said you didn't read it. In issue one, and I read issue one and stopped. Issue one, you see them getting orders from the system or whatever, and the main guy, I forgot his name, he's
Ryan.
starting to be like Ryan. He's starting to be like, I don't necessarily agree with that, and he's starting to convince the other two that maybe what they're telling us to do isn't fully correct and fully right. So I think that's like, hey, go do this, but in their book, they're like, I don't think that's the correct thing to do, which is why you see later on they end up fighting with them. So I think that's kind of where that goes. I just speaking from speculation because I haven't read after issue one. So you go ahead, say
Hey,
what you gotta say.
Boom Studios, you gave us a cliffhanger of the VR troopers being told you have been instructed to report to Villar. You will join him on his mission to apprehend the rest of the Rangers by any means necessary. The VR troopers say, so the mission has changed. And if we have a problem with that, like starting to, kind of bark up, that, we don't
Yeah,
agree with this.
yeah.
And she then says, I give you the orders. As always, it is your choice how you handle them. You've not disappointed me so far. She walks away. We do get a conversation before this is the last time we see the VR troopers for a good bit in this run, where they're saying like, "Yo, Ryan, I can't keep doing this, bro." Like, and then the other VR trooper, who's the female, she agrees. Like, they're not just evil mutants; they're people just like us.
Mm,
And Ryan, because he's the leader, he's their captain. We get to see him stare at a screen and say, "You heard her. We have our orders." And at the end of issue 11, which would be the very final page, your cliffhanger for issue 12, the cover of issue 12, who's on the cover? The motherfucking VR troopers.
yeah,
So where were they?
they're on the cover working with the Rangers, not necessarily against the Rangers. But like you said, in the next issue, they're fighting June's dad. So
True.
once again, it comes back to the book is being canceled. We got to figure out what to do. I can't like we got to go to that. That's because it's honest. That's what happened.
So if I was to pick this up month to month and I see the cliffhanger is the VR troopers are going to go and help the Emperor, they are on the literal cover of the next book. And I pick that book up and they ain't in this at all. Not a single page. That just seems like not I wouldn't say like it's full false advertising, but it definitely does seem like a way to try to be like, "Hey, come pick this book up."
So you saying if you weren't tapped into like social media, you didn't know that the book was canceled, you would look at it and be like, okay, I'm excited. I want to see them go try again to capture the Rangers, and they're not even
Well,
they're not even in an issue. Yeah, I agree with you.
what I think like if I could rewrite this book, of course I'm not a comic book writer, don't flame me. I
Could
ain't
be.
written a
You
single
could
book
be.
yet. I could be, but what I would probably do is have the VR troopers show up because they already have not really cared for Valor's like savage tactics. They're
Mhm.
not a fan with him. But all they've seen is just how he interrogates people. They haven't seen him in combat. So let them see the man put his raw power on the Rangers, belt to ass, ready to kill them, and now they have to make a decision here and now because of all the seeds that have been planted for Ryan. We can't keep doing this. Same. I don't agree with like they're normal people just like us. Now they have to see the normal people just like them getting belt to ass, bloodied up, about to die, and now they got it. Like they got to make that decision. Do they stick with the program or do
Yeah.
they rebel?
And that would make more sense to at the end of the book them coming to help the Rangers.
Exactly.
So definitely, you're not wrong. You're 100% right. I hear that, and I agree with that. But I ask you a counterpoint. If the VR troopers pull up, do they then wipe June's
Oh
dad with the
gosh.
Rangers? Because then, what's the point of him fighting the Rangers?
I mean, I feel like when they first show up, they of course wouldn't like know they're gonna show up to be like, "Yo, we're gonna save the Rangers," because Ryan just told them like, "Nah, we got orders. You heard the girl. Like, we gotta listen to her. We gotta go apprehend the Rangers." But I feel like what I would want to see is that was the orders that Ryan agreed to. Apprehend the Rangers by any means necessary.
Apprehend. Okay.
Valor, he don't want to apprehend these fools. He wants to put them in the dirt.
And
And
he's
so
talking. He's
exactly.
actually talking while he's fighting, so they would
And
hear
so
what he's saying.
so getting to see that and seeing that obviously this is more corrupt than they thought it was because the mission isn't to apprehend the Rangers, I feel like that would have given more substance to this issue.
Hmm.
Um, then of course, like I think it would definitely be whack if they were to just show up, and the second they show up, it's just like an Avengers Endgame portal moment, which is literally actually funny enough what we get later on.
Yeah,
Like that would definitely be whack. Like I would have preferred the build up to them switching sides.
yeah. So I mean, let's just get into it. What is it? Issue 12.
Yes, this is issue 12,
Issue
Valor
12. We
versus
start
the
off.
Rangers.
The Power Rangers Prime are fighting June's dad. You got the Blue Ranger, you got the Yellow Ranger, you got the Black Ranger, which is June, and you got the Pink Ranger, which is Orion. Those four are taking on June's dad. Um, Caleb, let us know what happened.
They ain't no match for him. They're trying.
He's a Viltrumite. I keep telling you.
And I mean, they are starting to try to figure out how to work together. They
Yeah.
I feel like, maybe they've recognized at this point like that's what's gone wrong with all of their fights. Because Valor is getting under June's skin, and Mark's in his corner. He's like, bro, don't listen to him. He's like, he literally says he's baiting you, and
Hmm.
and June's like, well, it's working. But now Valentina gets to comfort him and be like, it's okay, we're all in this together. So now we're getting to see more of that teamwork that we've been missing for the last 11 issues. And I do like this joke from Orion, which is shouldn't this be kind of a team type of anger therapy? Because it's like what I said, they're learning how to be a team together.
Yeah.
Now, are they winning as a team? No. But at the same time, I did sports growing up. I'm sure you did. Sometimes it's not all about winning with the team. Sometimes you have to lose with your team
To
so you
grow.
can yep, exactly,
Hmm.
so you can continue to grow. But
But
dude,
who shows up? Who shows up, Caleb?
yep, she did. I
Lauren
forgot.
shows up,
Yep,
and
I
she
did.
gets.
How did
Yep.
I miss that piece of information? She was there because she tricked the fool. She
Hmm.
said she said, "I'll take you to them so I can have my dad be free and my brother be free." She kicks him in the face, and
Yep.
then she says like she legit says like, "I said I'd take you to him. I didn't say what I'd do after that." And
Yep.
so then we start getting to get to see the full team together, a little bit more teamwork. Now, something I kind of caught on this reread, but I'm not sure if it was intentionally meant to be an Easter egg. Valor hit some sort of kaiju-sized Megazord form, and it gives me vibes of the Black Dragon from Rise of Draken.
So I'm about to blow your mind right now. And I
Okay.
know from what you just said, you're not tapped in, but you're gonna do some research for this clip. When June's dad, what's his name? Tell me his name one more time.
Velour?
When Valor does his thing with his battle suit, this is the exact replica of what the villain of the Netflix Voltron animated show looks like. Now, Caleb, I'm telling you this because you can go look
Okay.
this up. When you look this up, hand to God, it's bar to bar. The face is
Oh,
a
no.
listen, I'm not lying to you. It's the same thing. I don't know if the artist is the same from Voltron, Netflix Voltron to this book. I'm not sure. I'm not privy to that information because I didn't look it up. But when you see that, you're gonna be like Blue Jack. I understand why you said that looks exactly like Netflix Vol
Yeah, I'm gonna have
brother.
to look that up because I've
Yes.
never been tapped into Voltron
And when you
growing up.
see it, you're gonna be like, that came out in like 2019, 2022. That's a ripoff. Gee,
So,
it's the
was that what
exact
you
same.
thought when you read the issue?
Yes, I'm not. Listen, I'm telling you this because when you see it, you're gonna be like, "Oh, I understand." I'm telling, and it's funny because Netflix took it off of Netflix. They don't have like it's a Netflix original, but they took it off of Netflix, and I rock with that show. That show is amazing. The Netflix Voltron, it's called Voltron Earth's Mightiest Defender, something like that. But yeah, I really rock with that show. I even got a tattoo from it. But you, that's one of them. But there's
Okay.
a villain that looks exact has the same. I'm gonna have to look it up
Yeah,
and show you.
I see there's a couple different
Gee,
designs for him.
there's a villain with the same exact face. Oh my god! I swear I'm not lying. To you. There's a villain with the same exact face as this villain. But yes, this was tough from June's dad. June's dad had a battle suit, had a battleizer, whatever you want to call it, whatever. When he goes to war,
Mhm.
he locked in. And hey, chat, same episode. Blue Jack was wrong. I can admit I was wrong. TZ showed up in his Zord mode. I was
Yep,
wrong. Look at that, man. Caleb,
yep.
what happened after TZ showed up?
Dude, they started kinda putting a little bit of a belt to ass on Velour.
BTA.
Because now they had TZ able to start chomping away at all of his weird tentacles that had coming out of his suit. So and then of course the firepower alone from TZ with the fire blast that also gives a little bit more of firepower towards the team. But now they're locked in. Like they're starting to fight as a team. They're coordinating their attacks together. And my favorite attack out of this issue, June gets to be the one that cracks his dad's helmet open with his little like arm pointy blade. It's not the same type of blade as Lauren's it looks like because there's like an arrow tip at the end of it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's definitely interesting. But I like how he was able to be the one that cracked his helmet and he gets to be like, "Don't worry, I didn't scream this time."
Yeah, I
The
got this.
aura.
Yeah.
Uh, so I did enjoy that. What do you think about that? How that fight ended, though? Do you think that was too easy for them?
No, I think it was definitely Power Rangers
Right.
coded. I think it was dope. I think they came together as a team. They didn't just get the win; they had to struggle. TZ came, help them out, gave them the edge. Of course, Rita was nowhere to be found because she's trying to play that smart. My team needs to learn. But yeah, it was dope. Seeing that and seeing them overcome and seeing June be the one to overcome his dad, which is
Yep.
very important in this issue. And seeing them take him and then him doing whatever he's gonna do. But the most important fact was what? June is gay.
True. Wait, did we not know that before?
No,
I thought
I
for
don't
some
think
reason
so.
I thought for some reason there was a like I thought either way, we did indeed get the actual confirmation
He
when he
kisses
kisses
Mark.
Mark. Mhm.
Yes. And
Yes.
Mark is surprised. And he looking at him like, hey,
Maybe this is the first. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I think you're right. I did kind of think that it was kind of funny how we got you know how like in storytelling sometime there's like
oh
a
yeah,
win,
yeah, yeah.
there's a win, but there's a loss. We got Mark and June with the start of figuring out if they're a relationship because they're
Yep.
kissing, and the
Let us know.
literal next page is Valentina and Ryan realizing they're not on the same path. Finally, yep,
Breaking up.
yep, finally
Yep.
breaking up.
Power Ranger, VR Trooper. Breaking up, baby. Yep.
Hmm. So I
Yellow
did enjoy
Ranger.
that. How you got like the yin and yang of that, with start of one relationship and the end of
That was
another.
fire.
Exactly.
And we see
And
him on a motorcycle driving away, which what, three issues ago, we see them training on the
mhm,
motorcycles. Like that's dope, yeah.
yep. And we also got to see Emperor Valor. Apparently, she didn't say his Rita and his mom didn't say how much they messed with bro, but they did confirm they're erasing some memories.
Yeah, they did.
So I thought that was also funny, and I thought that was also a punishment that matches the crimes.
I agree. Take him out. Yeah.
Now that we have ended volume 3, I'm going to give you the mic. What would you rate it? And I swear if you glaze this book and give it a 7.5 again, I'm going to crash out.
Do I have the mic?
You do.
All right, man. Before I give my number rating, as I'm reading this, as I'm rereading this with Caleb, with Morphin and Chilling, with the pod, with everybody that's listening, it wasn't bad. It was good. It was decent. It definitely had its flaws. It definitely repeated a lot of stuff over and over that I got tired of when I read it for the first time. For the first
Right.
time, um, like I said before, Return to the Green Ranger was gas. We were all excited. It definitely took us back to the 2017 movie, which is I think was very a pivotal point. Which is why they did this in this book, Melissa Flores, and then I think the June aspect definitely hit me harder as a father. It hit me
Right.
hard
I agree.
seeing his dad do him that way. We've seen it as a trope in a lot of different things, but I think that definitely hit me. So I rock with that episode, seeing June finally stand up for herself,
Mhm.
finally choose a side, even though he's been nurtured, and because we see him in issue what he's nurtured to be on their side, on the bad side, and we see him stand up, choose the Rangers. Finally, as we see in the shows, I think that was dope. And then after that, it was kind of like, okay, the Rangers coming back together, the Rangers fighting, they're losing, but they're finding a way. So I don't think it's horrible. I'm not gonna get a 7.5. I'm gonna give it a 6.5. I think it was cool. It is downgrade. It is starting to go down for me. The last four issues we're not gonna talk about yet because that's next episode. But yeah, I'll give it a 6.5, and I hand it over to you. Let's hear what you got to say about it.
For my first reread, I was glazing it. I was loving it. I was a fan. So I do feel like a lot of these things that are annoying me now, I didn't notice any of them before. Um, so I feel like before I probably would have given this maybe like a 7.5, 8 out of 10. I think I'm gonna stick with what I gave volume 2, which was a 6 out of 10,
Okay.
because of course like you've brought up before, there's a lot that maybe could have been developed more that she might have had plans for. So yeah, I think I rock with the 6 out of 10 still.
That's
Next one, I feel like I'm gonna go lower.
and I get that. A lot of people they hear us or they might see this and they think we're being too harsh. Guys, you got to understand. we read these books. We read them on New Comic Book Day when they drop. Some of us read them early, so
I don't.
it's very much it's very much an excitement because you are anticipating this book. You know it's dropping from Sunday to Monday to Tuesday. You're like, I need to read this book. This is gonna be one of the first few books I read. If it's be the first three, the first four. So you read it, you're at a very high excitement. And as you're reading it and you're taking it and you're like at a high moment, or you're reading it and you're let down. So sometimes reading it, rereading it gives you a different outlook when you're not in that excitement mode, when you're calmed down. Just like movies, just like
Right.
rewatching a movie, rewatching the episode, you get a different perspective. And that's okay, man. That's okay. That doesn't mean we hate it. We still rock with it, but
I
you
agree.
see more of the flaws, right?
Exactly.
You see more of the flaws when you're not in that honeymoon, that hype stage,
Mhm.
that adrenaline's like, oh, I just bought this book. I
New
need to
Power
open
Rangers
it.
team.
Yeah. I need to open it and read it. So that's I think that's where we're at. And I'm a little different from Caleb, which is why most of my scores are higher than Caleb because as he'll tell you in his videos, if y'all check him out on TikTok, Instagram, I rereading this, I kind of got more of a understanding and a more of an excitement when I read it the first time when I was let down the first time because I was let down reading this off rip. I was like, what are we doing? You know what I mean? But
Yep.
rereading it and re-talking about it with him gave me more excitement and seeing you guys
We're
in the
like we're like
comments.
opposites.
Yeah, exactly. It gave me more excitement and it made me cherish it more. But I also remember how I felt when I first read it. I also remember the flaws that I saw when I first read it. So that's just where I'm at with it. Like, you know what I mean? Caleb's
Right.
not wrong.
No, kind of where I feel like it's getting a little bit harsher for me to judge this book is before when I was reading it, I wasn't quite sure where the story was going. Of course, like you said, I'm picking it up, excited, new Power Ranger team. Let's just dive in and read this. I'm flipping through the pages. I'm so excited. But now on this reread, I'm able to see the pattern that we get 4 issue arcs, you know? So we get so 16 issues, we get 4 arcs.
Hmm.
Each arc is 4 issues. And maybe it's just a Boom Studios issue, not a creative team issue, because I know that I've texted you about that frustration with the Boom Studios trades.
Yeah.
I hate how they're 4 issues. So I don't know if maybe that's creative control that the creative team doesn't have the liberties of giving more issues into an arc. Because like if you look at like if I was to grab Ultimate Spider-Man Volume 1, 7 issues or
Yeah.
6 issues, it gets time to breathe, and it also makes perfect sense when you go and pick up that next issue. It's a jumping on point that I guess like kind of is understandable.
Yeah.
Whereas each of these arcs are trying to be their own separate arcs, but also somehow try to like bleed into one another because they only have 4 issues to work with, bro.
Yeah. And I get that, but I also think they're written in a way where the 4 issues make sense. Does that mean you shouldn't get more out of a trade? No. But I
Right.
think because they know it's going to be 4 issues, I think they write them in a way where you feel like you get a full arc in those four. So say for instance how we felt like they they dropped the Easter egg that the not an Easter egg, they dropped the last issue of VR Troopers should have been in this issue, but they weren't because VR Troopers were the main people for volume 2, right?
Right.
So you don't want to make them the main people for volume 3 as well as June's dad because then it feels like you're putting too much in one book. So I kind of get it as far as the writers. But yeah, as far as Boom, it should definitely be more than 4, hands down. Especially if you're paying 16, 17, $18
$20.
in
20 to $22.
the
As the
episode.
man as the
In the
man who
episode.
had to buy 2 different trades.
In the episode. In the episode. Gee, in the episode. See, that's what I can't defend. I can't play devil's advocate in the episode.
But everybody, That's how we feel about Power Rangers Prime Volume 3, how we rate it. Blue Jack, you gave it a 6.5 out of 10. I gave it a 6 out of 10. If you enjoyed our recap and our discussions about Volume 3, then you're definitely going to want to make sure you're subscribed and hit that little button down below so that you can make sure you stay tuned in for when we tear apart these last 4 issues because, oh man, they're way worse off than these first 3 volumes were.
Yes.
But until next time, y'all stay chillin', stay morphin', and may the power protect y'all. Peace.